Hey, it's Matt. Welcome back to another tool haul video. Today I have a thrift haul with an added bonus rummage haul down here at the bottom. I got $5 into this rummage haul down here, and the rest of the stuff is $13. So we have $18 total. Let's see how I did here. We have ourselves old NewBritain sockets here. I think these are from the 30s, maybe the late 20s into the 30s. And I got fairly complete set. We got a couple of missing sockets in there, but I have a lot of the 30-second sizes, 19 30-seconds, 21 30-seconds, stuff like that. And I'm missing a couple of like normal sockets, like 5/8 and all that. Two double squares in there too, and we have the ratchet to go with that. And that's in fairly decent shape. It works, ratchet's good, and we have the extension to go with that as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. I snagged up on that. I'm probably going to sell that, so that's probably going to pay for this lot. We'll give that to somebody who collects NewBritain stuff. That's not really my thing, so I'll let somebody else enjoy that set. This is just kind of a generic, no name on it, little kind of L bar, breaker bar, I guess, 3/8 drive. And I think I'm just going to throw that in my box for something if I need to put a breaker bar on something and I don't want to bust my ratchet or bust my good breaker bar. I don't know. All right, what do we have up here? Screwdriver stuff. This really isn't a screwdriver. I think it used to be maybe a screwdriver and somebody modified it into some sort of hooking tool. This edge is flat with the shank here, so you could rest it on something flat and get in there, dig in with something. I think that's what somebody made out of this, kind of a gasket scraper. If there was like an O-ring somewhere and somebody needed to get in there and scrape out a groove or something, probably made this for that. But I'm going to hang on to that thing. I like these modified tools. I'm not mad at that. So we'll add that to my weird tools. A couple of these quick wedges here in really nice shape. These are probably going to be upgrades to what I got in my toolbox, and then I'll just move the other ones along the line. Got a bunch of Blackhawk sockets down here of the older, you know, polished on the top and not polished on the bottom era here, in the 40s, 30s, I think, into the 40s. And these are pretty cool. I like this socket. 7/8 deep, 12 pointer. Doesn't have the push button on it, so I like that kind of over-engineered stuff. Looks like it has, maybe it's got a detent in it for the ball, but the rest of these are either have this push button on there or they don't. So we got a 15/16 here, right? Is that what this is? Am I lying to you? Nope, 15/16. Then we have some triples, all of these. Some doubles, a 3/4. Some of these have a button, some of them don't. We got 3/4, 3 5/8, 3 9/16. Yep, 3 9/16. I think I actually have 4 9/16. I think that's a 9/16 down there. Some 1/2 inchers and some 7/16. One's missing the button in there. Man, I'm gonna sneeze. This is gonna ruin the video. Hold on a sec. All right, I'm back. Okay, where was I? Right here? Yep, okay. Pliers, duckbill, Uticas. These are really cool. It's my favorite set of pliers I've gotten in a long time. Really nice pattern on there. It's not all narfed up. A little flat starting on that one, but they feel really nice. They're a little rusty, a little loose. No, nothing wrong with that, you know. Still get the job done. So I dig those. Definitely throwing those in my box. Let's see here. We'll go with these screwdrivers up here. We got the Stanley Adam Savage. Big old standard flat blade here. 66-268. The handle's a little dinged up. Got some marks on there. I don't really mind that. I'm probably going to hang on to this one for a while. I don't have a large Stanley of the yellow and red variety like this. So I'm going to hang on to this one until I find one of those of this size. Maybe I'll still keep this. I don't know. These are a pretty quick sell. People like these. So I usually stick these on eBay when I find them. But with that mark in the logo right there, like, why did it have to be, why couldn't it be right there or, you know, right there? It just had to be there, didn't it? So, whatever. I don't mind it, but it might be kind of a hard sell with that. It's not perfect. The tip isn't perfect, but it's, I'd say, really good. Pretty good shape. So, I think I'll just throw that in my toolbox. And then these Craftsman screwdrivers, look at that. We got a bunch of these solid red-handled ones, which is kind of strange. I don't know why they did this. Maybe somebody knows. Let me know in the comments there. But usually the flat blades are red and blue, and the Phillips are just all blue paint. And then for a while, I don't know if it was a year range or something, or if it was just a different, I don't know, different store that they sold them in. They did these solid red ones. So I have a fairly complete set here. Let's see what we got here. We got 3 Phillips and 3 flatheads here, and these were all together. So I'm gonna move these along down the line to somebody who wants a set of these red ones. I have a set with, you know, the red and the blue, and then the, you know, this clear and the blue, I guess. I have all of them, so I don't really need to collect the solid red ones. I got too much of that going on here. I gotta get rid of some of this stuff. I'm looking like a hoarder down here, so help me out here. Check out my eBay store if you haven't already. The link's in the description down below if you're interested in any of this stuff. Sometimes I list the stuff before I do the video because I don't release the video until after, you know, I might sit on the video for a week or two. But these should probably be going up there soon if I can get to it, but definitely selling those. We got an old number 1 Phillips, and this is the genuine Phillips. So circle I with the barn A, so older first gen kind of Craftsman screwdrivers of this style. And then the rest of these aren't too old, but I always pick these up. I got a bunch of these, and I just kind of hang on to them. The 41421 with the clip on it. I got a bunch of these from, you know, all across the year ranges. And this is a cool little 7mm. It's a TrueCraft 4-in little Japan wrench. But I'm going to throw that in the toolbox out in the garage, I think. I don't know if I have a 7mm combo out there. So we'll stick that out there. We got these 3 little guys down here. Got a snap-on, and this is a 3/16. It's going to be a hex key that's missing the hex out of there, so I'll have to find a USA hex and jam it down in there and chop it to whatever size I want. And we got ourselves a snap-on 3/16. Got a Williams BS 431. Come on, it doesn't like to show that on the camera there. Williams, so 1/2 inch to 3/8, and then another 1/2 inch to 3/8 adapter. This is an Armstrong. Where do we go there? FS 131. Armstrong, not in the greatest shape, but still usable. And these sockets back here. These are all the Craftsman sockets, nothing too special. This one is kind of that old war finish or no finish gray. I don't know what they were doing. Come on, focus. What is going on with this camera? I lost it. There we go. 1930 seconds. So that's the only real special thing. Everything else is pretty common. Got some Proto stuff over here. A Proto Los Angeles, so that's cool. 1/2 inch drive, 11/16, 12-pointer. And then this is a Challenger Proto 1616H. And that's a 6-pointer 1/2 inch drive. And then we have a 3/8 Proto here. And that's a Los Angeles as well. So a 3/4 shorty 3/8 drive with some sort of cocoonage in there. So I'm digging on that socket. I really like this socket too. 15/16 Indestro Super. I just love the taper on these things. How it's a gradual taper instead of just coming up and then tapering at the top. I just like that that era of these sockets. I'll have to see if I need one of those. I think I'm trying to make a set of those. Some Thorson sockets, nothing too special. And that is it for the thrift haul, I think. Did I miss anything? I don't think I did. You got to tell me. Sometimes I miss some stuff. I'm going, you know, I'm moving along here and I just gloss over something, but I think I got it all. All right, garage sale stuff. Nothing too special in the garage sale, but we have one tool down here that's not showing that is kind of my favorite tool of the haul. So Indestro box wrench, nothing crazy. Those old school Indestro, you know, whatever, early combos in this shape. A couple of those. I think this one says Chicago on it. Yeah, so this is an older one. Figured I'd just snag up on that. Well, I was there. This is kind of a shame. It's a little rusty, but I might just throw this in some evaporusting, try to clean it up. We got a true 3/4 5/8 old box wrench here, so definitely going to add that to my collection. I have some Billings wrenches that I grabbed because I'd never seen them with the large font on here, the forged chrome steel made in USA. But Billings 13/16 3/4. Got ourselves a C 1731, and then C 1031 25/32 7/8. So I grabbed those. Why not? I was there. They were in my hand, so I took them home with me. We have this old Forge 1416, a 7/16 half-inch. And I don't have any old forge wrenches, so I figured I'd snag up on that thing. Got a couple of sockets down here. Got a Craftsman, and that is a BF 3/4. So that's pretty cool. I snagged up on that thing. And then this is a Hinsdale 5/16, and I don't have a 5/16 half-inch drive Hinsdale. I have a whole collection. Let me go grab that, actually. I forgot to bring it over here. I'm coming, hold on. It's right here. So I got all these Hinsdales, so I'm gonna add that sucker right onto there, and just keep plugging away at that set over there. So that's pretty cool. And we have some True Fit pliers down here. Nothing too crazy. I think True Fit is loosely tied into Milwaukee Tool and Forge, so I grabbed these. These probably look like they're 50s or something, maybe. I don't know. I have to dig into it. But my favorite wrench is right here. This old school. We got ourselves a Mac S15. Look how long that thing is. What do we got here? Yeah, about 9 inches long. Big Daddy. Sabina, Ohio. JD loved his little 3/16 1/4-inch wrench because he JD'd it all over the place. Yep, he didn't miss a spot. So that's kind of unfortunate, but I just dig that wrench. Just a long, skinny, little weird, you know, probably for points or something, 3/16 1/4-inch. Sweet wrench. Love it. Love it. I guess I love them all. That's why I do this. I don't know, what do you think? What was your favorite tool? I think I did all right for 18 bucks. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy, but I should be able to get some of that money back from these Craftsman red screwdrivers and from this NewBritain set. We'll upgrade those things. Hang on to that Stanley. I got a cool Stanley. I got another addition to the Hinsdale set there. We got some sockets I could throw into my pile of sockets that's turning into a mountain. And then a nice collector Mac wrench and some other collectible stuff down here. So I think I did pretty cool. Pretty good. Pretty good. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Again, check out my eBay store if you're interested in any of this stuff. I might list it up there, and I try to list every week, so check it out. Have a good one.